Hello, everyone. How's it going? This is immigration attorney Moumita. I'm coming to you live to talk about immigration and to see what's on your mind. Today, I want to discuss, will filing Vawa hurt your spouse? If you file for the protections underneath Vawa and you seek to get a green card on your own, will this hurt your spouse? I'm going to address this very important question today because this is something that I get a lot, and I know that many of you may be wondering, and it may be preventing you from filing for Vawa. And I'm going to tell you why you should not let this prevent you. So first of all, my name is Moumita Rahman. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm an immigration lawyer. I'm based in New York. I have been practicing immigration law for the past 11 years. And it's my pleasure to do the work that I do because I believe that immigrants belong in America and you deserve to be safe and happy and free from fear. And when you are married to a US citizen who is either not helping you with your immigration process, or they keep sabotaging your green card case, or they are threatening to cancel your green card case, or they just won't help you at all. They won't help you get a green card. They don't care. You may be going through a lot of things in your marriage, and you may have been told that VAWA is a good option for you. A VAWA application or an I-360 self-petition is a common way of applying for a green card for yourself when your US citizen or green card holding spouse is not going to help you with it, or you fear asking them, or for other reasons, okay? And if you have been thinking about this, but you're worried about how it's going to affect your husband or how it's going to affect your wife, here's the deal. VAWA does not affect your spouse. You are not required to call the police on your spouse in order to file for VAWA. You do not have to file any reports against them, nor is there going to be some investigation onto your spouse, or is it going to be a public record. VAWA is meant to be a safe and confidential way for you to get immigration relief when you're not able to through your marriage, all right? So please don't let that be a factor in preventing you from doing it. If you've been told by other people that if you file for VAWA, it's gonna hurt them, they're gonna get in trouble, it's simply not true. There are so many strict confidentiality provisions inside VAWA that basically your spouse will not be affected in any sort of way, okay? So if you are interested in filing for VAWA, or you're wondering if this is the right way for you to get a green card, give me a call, 212-248-7907. My staff is standing by to book you for an appointment so I can go over your case. Now, some of the common requirements that you need to fulfill to be eligible for VAWA are: number one, you need to be married to a US citizen or to a green card holder. Now, VAWA is actually also available in other ways too. For example, if you are the parent of a US citizen child who's 21 years old and your adult US citizen child has put you through a lot of issues, then VAWA may also be an option for you. But mainly, I'm going to talk about the spousal VAWA right now. For this, you do need to be married to a US citizen or to a green card holder. You do need to have lived together in the same place. And I frequently get calls from people who may not have actually lived with their spouse. Please do note that for VAWA to be successful, you need to have lived with your husband or with your wife during the course of the marriage for any period of time, even if it's a day, a week, a month. The law does not say that there has to be a minimum amount of time that you need to have lived together, but you must have shared the same residence with your spouse. Next, you need to be able to prove that your marriage is real. Your marriage must be real. If you're not in a real marriage, please, I would not be able to help you. But the thing is that, don't let people make you feel like your marriage is not real just because you lack some of the things that you traditionally see. That is for me to help you understand, and you have to be able to show some documents. But now a common thing that happens in these cases is that because of the position that you are in as an immigrant, you don't have a social security number, or even if you have a social security number, your husband or your wife is not putting you on documents. They're like, no, I'm not going to put you on this. I don't want to put your name down, blah, 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 all these things. That is something that's very common. So you may find that it's hard for you to show proof of the marriage. But here's the thing. The level of the standard of evidence for a VAWA case is any credible evidence, anything that you can give. anything you can give, you give to me and my team. I help put together your case with whatever you're able to give me. Because the sad reality is that in your situation, you may not have access to a lot of things, okay? So anyway, all that I want you to know is that if you are, experiencing certain problems in your relationship, you have started the green card process, you have your interview coming up, for example, you have your interview coming up next week, and your husband or your wife is saying, I'm not gonna go, or like you can't find them, your spouse abandoned you, they've left the house for months, you have no idea where they are, or they're threatening to cancel your application, or you have entered illegally and you just don't think that there's any way for you to get your green card. You started your perdón or your waiver process, and now you're either separated or you're about to get divorced. Here's another really important thing. You may still be able to file for VAWA even if you are separated from your US citizen husband or your wife. Even if you're separated, as long as you're legally married and you're able to prove the other things, you may still go ahead and qualify to apply. And I would love to help you. So many of my clients are separated. And when you're separated from your spouse, it's an indication. It's an indication to me that you've probably gone through a lot of things and there's a reason for that. And maybe we need to do the VAWA case. Or if you have gotten divorced, as long as your divorce happened within the past 2 years, if your divorce is not more than 2 years old, then we may also be able to file. And the beauty of VAWA is that even if you entered illegally, you may still be able to get a green card without having to leave the US. Now, I still need to screen your case to see if you have any other issues, permanent bar, other violations, and then we can see what we can do, okay? So 212-248-7907, my staff is standing by to book you for an appointment. All right, I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. And I'm live streaming on 4 different platforms right now, so please have a bit of patience with me. All right. Let's see. Okay. Who qualifies for SIJS? From Zuleika Torres. Zuleika is such a beautiful name. I love that name, Zuleika. And anyone else who is interested in SIJS. So first of all, SIJS stands for Special Immigrant Juvenile Status. Special Immigrant Juvenile Status is something that is really, really important for you to know about. Special Immigrant Juvenile Status is a way to get a green card for someone who is basically a minor in the United States and who either has a legal entry or no other access to getting a green card or a pathway to a green card. Now, here are the main qualifications and requirements for SIJS. Number 1, you need to be considered kind of a minor in your state. And for the majority of states, it's usually either you need to be underneath 18 years old or underneath 21 years old. For example, in New York, if you're underneath 21 years old, we may still be able to proceed with SIJS. And in SIJS, you need to show that either one or both of your parents have neglected or abandoned you. Now, this is really important because the reason why we have to show abandonment or neglect by the parent is because we are going to petition in the family court for an order of guardianship or something else that shows that your parent is not capable of taking care of you. But what this also means is that if you do go through SIJS, once you get your green card, are not able to petition for your parent, but don't worry about that because the main goal is to get you your residency. That is really the important part. But if we're able to go through court, either one or two of your parents are not taking care of you or they have hurt you in the past or they're not in the country, then we can petition for you and give me a call, 212-248-7907. The laws, it depends on your state. And I'll go ahead, I'll try to make a video about this later about what age you need to be in what state. So depending on the state that you live in, the age is going to be either 18, you have to be under 18 or under 21. And that means that we also need to get that order from that family court before you turn this age. And we need to go ahead and get your application in for SIJS. And then all we do is we wait for your priority date to become current so that we can file your green card application. I would estimate that SIJS for most cases takes roughly several years, okay? But it's a wonderful way. Now, if you're underneath 18, you're underneath 21, give me a call, 212-248-7907. If any of this is hitting a nerve with you and you're like, oh my God, maybe I qualify for SIJS, I better give Moumita a call, please do so. We're standing by, okay? Do you have an office in San Francisco? From Sophia. Sophia, I do not have an office in San Francisco. I'm based in New York. However, I work with clients all over the US. All over the US. I have many clients in California, Texas, Oregon, Washington, everywhere. So even if you're not on the East Coast, you're on the West Coast, or you're in between, or you're in New York, give me a call, 212-248-7907. We operate virtually, by phone, by Zoom, and we have a secure online platform that all of our clients get access to. And that this is how we exchange documents and information and updates and all of that. So we've been able to work really well through post mail, which is snail mail for those who are not familiar with that term, Zoom, phone, and our online communications. The View says, I don't need any immigration information. I'm just here to listen to you. Thank you so much. How can I expedite the I-130 from Rustam? Rustam, and anyone else who is looking to expedite their immigration application, in order for you to expedite any immigration application, you need to do it in writing with evidence of some sort of urgent humanitarian or medical or other emergency basis to explain why you need to have your application expedited. And also keep in mind the processing time for your form. The processing time for forms is going to vary by location and also by the form type, among a couple of other factors, including category of the form. And you have to keep a close eye on this, because if your application happens to fall outside of the normal processing time, maybe you feel like, I filed an I-130 6 months ago, it's taking forever, it's running late, but you'd be surprised. The processing time for an I-130 is actually may actually be less, more like maybe 12 months. Who knows? And you need to check that to see what that is first. Then you can call USCIS to make a customer service inquiry, and then you can try to see what can happen at that point. Okay. I have a question from Gabby Cruz. Gabby Cruz is asking, is infidelity abuse and contracting an STD from spouse? Gabby, thank you so much for this question. This is a very, very important question. Here's my opinion, and here's the sad reality. When your spouse cheats on you and knowingly subjects you to an STD, yes, to me, this is actually sexual abuse, and it is also probably emotional abuse as well as psychological. There's just a variety of types of abuses. And if you're going through this, where your spouse has cheated on you, either openly or hidden, and you get an STD from this as a result, why are they, you have to ask yourself, if someone is truly caring about you and they're exposing you to a harmful disease, this is not love, right? And this is actually a form of control, and it's hurting you. It's hurting you, and they know that it's going to hurt you. And if you are married to a US citizen who has done this to you, then I would like you to give me a call, 212-248-7907. Let's see what we can do for you, Gabby. I would love to help you help you get your green card through Vawa, okay? What is the legal fee for Vawa from Mahmoud Khan? Mahmoud, the legal fee for Vawa is this. There is no fee for the I-360. The I-360 is actually free. However, if you are filing a green card application along with your Vawa, which is the I-485, the legal fee is $1,225 to the government. Now, as far as my legal fee, it's going to depend on the case. So if you want an evaluation of your case, Mahmoud, 212-248-7907, so I can go ahead and evaluate your case and to see what we need to do. Mira Kruti is asking, I got a deportation order in 2002. What is my chance? My son is 18, from Mira. Mira, thank you so much for your question. Now, if you have a deportation order and you're still in the country and your child's about to turn 18, it's probably going to be a little bit difficult. But, give us a call. We'll go ahead and evaluate your case, 212-248-7907. Now, if you have a deportation order and you're outside the US, and whether you can come back or not is going to depend on a few different things. Number one, do you have an immediate relative who can petition for you? And once your son turns 21, they may be able to petition for you. But also, we have to look to see how many years has passed from the date of deportation. How many years has passed, and also, what was the reason why you were deported? This is very important too. And if you're still inside the US, in some cases, we may be able to help you still fix your status. However, it's always going to depend. And what I recommend for you is anyone who has a prior deportation or who has had problems with immigration and you want to consult with me, please do your best to get your documents together. At least try to find your A number. Your A number is super important. Your A number, for those of you who don't know, is it's almost like your social security number, but with immigration. It's the number that you have for life that, has the records associated with it, all right? Sadbra, thank you very much. All right, let's see what other questions I have. And thank you to all of my followers who are watching. When I was coming to USA, my age was mistakenly mentioned. I'm married. In real life, I'm not married. Is it okay? Can I file for VAWA from P to D checklist? P to D checklist, it's a little bit hard for me to understand your question. However, you know, VAWA depends. VAWA depends on if you have the factors of being married to a U.S. citizen or to a green card holder, having lived together during the marriage, and also having being in a good faith marriage, and also making sure that you know, we're able to help show how you have suffered either extreme cruelty or battery. And even if you have prior fraud, if you have some sort of prior fraud, give us a call, 212-248-7907. You may have a waiver eligible to you. Now, if you have been found by immigration to have definitely committed immigration fraud for the purpose of basically doing a sham marriage, that's a different issue, but still give us a call, 212-248-7907. We'll see what we can do, okay? Is there a way to expedite my DACA renewal from Ozzy? Ozzy, unfortunately, you can put out whatever expedite request that you want. Now, DACA renewals are being a problem right now. DACA work permits renewals, they're being a problem. They're taking a long time, and everyone's kind of in the same boat where they're suffering this sort of delay and the work permits are expiring. You know, you can try to get your help from your congressional representative, your senator, and see if that might help. Okay. Kansa, hello. Hi, hello to everyone, and please feel free to drop your questions. I'm going to do my best to answer everything. If I received a prima facie VAWA, how long does it take to get work permit after biometrics? This is in November 2021 from Jerry. Jerry, congratulations on getting your prima facie determination. Once you do your biometrics in a VAWA case, spousal, you know, cases that are based on spouses, the work permits will usually take about 6 months. Once you do your once you do your biometrics, it really depends. But I would say from start to finish, from the date you submit the application and you get your work permit in your case, if it's based upon a spouse, then it's about 6 months, maybe 7. Can you say what is the address to send the FOIA from Bravo Gallardo? Bravo, I don't have that address with me right now. However, you can look it up. You need to look it up online at USCIS's website, or if you're sending a FOIA to the different agency, you can actually Google FOIA addresses and things like that. I hope that helps. Okay. Hello, what is the time frame the Juarez Embassy is taking to schedule for an appointment from DeSanch 94? DeSanch, hello, thank you for your question. Now, in Ciudad Juarez, the time for an appointment, I'm estimating between 3 to 4 years, sometimes 5. And definitely if you're in a category other than an immediate relative, which is a spouse or a parent of a U.S. citizen, probably going to take longer. Hi, I got my, poor man, thank you very much for the roses. I got my student visa rejected. Can that affect my marriage application with my US citizen from Flourish? Flourish, thank you for the question. And this is actually going to anyone who has ever filed an immigration application, had something rejected, been denied entry into the US, anything with immigration. The general rule of thumb is to be upfront. Make sure you disclose these things, especially make sure you read the questions directly. And you know, also because what can happen is that there are many questions on the green card application that talk about, have you ever been denied entry? Have you ever been refused a visa? Have you ever committed misrepresentation? These are very important questions. Now, as far as you having a F1 denial, it definitely you know, it depends. Why was your F1 denied? If you have any sort of fraud issue at all, then it won't affect you getting approved. However, you may need to do a waiver, and then you need to see if you qualify for the waiver, all right? I-601 waiver, how long does it take? All right, so for the 601 waiver, generally the 601 itself will usually take about a year or more. The 601A may take a little bit less time. How long does it take for a decision after an asylum interview from Este? So this depends. Actually, we just got an asylum approval 2 days ago, which I'm really happy about. You'll see a video about it soon. This case, we had the interview probably around April or May, and we just got the decision. So it really depends, but we also asked for an expedite because there were some compelling circumstances. Hi, this is Asma. My spouse got his green card and then left me. He got secretly married in Bangladesh. Asma, give us a call, 212-248-7907. If your spouse is abandoning you, to me, it's a problem. It's a sign of deeper problems in the relationship and deeper problems of how your spouse is treating you, Asma. So you may qualify for Vawa. So give us a call, 212-248-7907. And so let's see if we can get you your green card as well. I have applied my 10-year green card since last August and still didn't get it. When will I get that? I do not know. 10-year green cards, if you're filing the I-751 application, that usually takes about 2 years. That's why they're giving a 2-year extension right now. All right. Do I need any other travel documents if I have a passport stamp for I-751? From Hassan Haq. Hassan Haq, I'm glad you got your passport stamped. Normally, if you just have the stamp, carry your expired green card, of course. You always need to carry that. And then carry your receipt if you think that will help. Gabby says, I have an appointment with you on the 18th. Yes, Gabby, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm looking forward to helping you. Okay, Gabby? Taufik is saying, hello, dear great lawyer. I am married in the U.S. and I have a child with a U.S. citizen woman and I don't get my green card. I'm overseas right now. My family's in the USA. From Taufik. Taufik, give us a call, 212-248-7907. If you're overseas, we have to do a Zoom consultation because I cannot call you, nor can you. It's very hard to receive calls. But, if you have, you're in a relationship, you're in actual marriage to a U.S. citizen, we can try to help get you over here, okay? We'll analyze your case to see what we have to do. So Taufik, give us a call. Hi, I want to know what status can I apply for after my asylum proceedings has been terminated by immigration courts. Thank you from Obeng. Obeng Enoch, thank you for your question. So Obeng, this is going to depend on what you qualify for. If your case is terminated by the court, I'm assuming you're married to a U.S. citizen or you have a different way of getting your green card. So it's really going to depend on that. If you got approved for asylum, actually, and that's why your case is over, then you have to wait 1 year after the approval to apply for your green card. And that will be hopefully your new status in the future. Junior Perez, how can I contact you over the weekend? I need to do my self-petition. Junior, yes, of course you can. My assistant, Metzger Anderson, they're waiting right now. They're waiting to take your call and to book you for an appointment. Call right now. And this is a question that I get a lot. Can I contact you? When can I call you? You can call me anytime. You can call me any time of the day. We have people standing by on the phone, during business hours, usually up until 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock most days, on the weekends. And if you call after hours, like really late at night or really early, we always have an answering service to take backup calls when we're not available. And we do our best to get back to you within 24 hours, okay, Junior? So I can't wait to hear from you. Mayansky blog, I'm planning to file Vawa since my husband refused many times. Is there any way, even if I don't have evidence? From Mayansky. Mayansky, thank you for your question. I feel like I may have answered questions for you before, and it's my pleasure to see you back. So in a Vawa case, evidence is important, of course, but evidence is also always hard to get. People, you might think that there is some, like some magical amounts of evidence that you need, or like if you don't have evidence, you shouldn't file for Vawa. Here's the thing. Congress has made part of the statute that makes up the Vawa law that any credible evidence is possible to use. Anything. As long as your evidence is consistent, as long as you, we do our best to take whatever little pieces of evidence you can give us to help put together your story. Right? It's like a puzzle. And but we know for a fact that in your puzzle of a case, there's not going to be every piece available. But you give us whatever you have, Mayansky. And people, when you think, if you're thinking that, oh, I have no evidence, there's no way that I can prove how my spouse hurt me, how my spouse did this to me, how we live together. Number one, the biggest piece of evidence is your testimony in a case, which is why when we do a Vawa case, when you hire us to do a Vawa case, we do a thorough, in-depth interview with you. Usually this interview can take anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours to 6 hours sometimes. We ask you so many questions about what happened in your relationship. This is how we build your case. And through whatever you say, this is how we build your affidavit. You can go for a psychological evaluation. If you don't have evidence, you can talk to people who may have observed, family members, friends, coworkers, neighbors, anything with you and your spouse. They can write a letter of support, and you can have things in text messages, any bills, any letters. There's so many ways to put together evidence. And that is my job. That is what we help you with. All right. So my auntie, don't delay. Give us a call and let us help you file. All right. Let's see what other questions I have. And I'm sorry if I'm missing any questions. Official Lakon is saying, I filed for Vawa because my spouse ran away with our baby and now she's filing a restraining order, which was approved because she lied. Will this affect my Vawa from getting approved from Official Lakon? Official, thank you for your question. I'm really sorry about what you're going through. This is very important, guys. I want to talk to you about this. When your spouse runs away with your kids, or when your spouse uses your kids as a way to try to control you, when your spouse tells you that if you ever try to move against me, I'm going to take the kids away and no one's going to believe you because you're an immigrant, this is extreme cruelty. And if your spouse has already done that, I want you to know that you have rights in this country, even if you're an immigrant. So you should absolutely try to pursue, custody, paternity, whatever you need to do to see your child. Now, if your spouse has obtained a restraining order against you, all hope is not lost, Official Lakon. Okay, we need to show, normally, the sad reality is that, of course, some people abuse the system and they may file a false charge against you. And if you do have charges against you, you need to litigate that in court and cooperate with police, okay? It may affect depending on what the final outcome is. But as of right now, a restraining order itself will probably not affect your ability to get approved. But if there's more to that, if you're actually found convicted of assault or domestic violence, Official Lakon, then that may be an issue. So give us a call, 212-224-87907. All right. Thank you, CJ's Landscaping, Gabby, and everyone else. Gabby, you have a follow-up question. Does your testimony have to be handwritten or typed? Gabby, good question. So what we do in our firm is we do this long interview, and then we help create your affidavit, and it's basically typed. Now, if you prefer to do your own affidavit and you want to handwrite it or type it, whatever you want to do, we're okay with that too. But generally, when you hire us, we try to make it as easy for you as possible. Nobody wants to sit there and write about what they've gone through. It's really hard. It is really, really hard to write about what you've gone through. And you may also not know exactly how much detail to give and all those things, which is why when you hire us to do the case, we try to do as much for you as possible. So all that you have to do is really just tell us things and review things and sign. All right. That's really what my goal is for all clients. Junior Perez is saying, I have 245I and was married to a U.S. citizen, got separated. She cheated on me. Junior, I'm sorry to hear that. Give us a call. I want to file for Vawa for you. Right? I want to file for Vawa and see what we can do for you. And if you have 245I, don't worry. Like maybe we can use that, but we may not even need to use your 245I. Kokon Mia saying, can you call me for my C1D visa renewal? I don't normally do these things, Kokon, but if you need a referral, you can give us a call and we'll try to give you an update, referral to a different attorney. Emmanuel Rodriguez, hi, any news about Plan C for immigration? Emmanuel, not right now. I don't have any update. However, I think it's just watch my latest video on this subject. All right, just a few more questions. Hi, I have a green card. How long does it take to get U.S. citizenship? Thank you from Priya. Priya, congratulations on having your green card. Now, the general rule for getting your citizenship is you have to wait either 3 years or 5 years. 5 years is for persons who got their green card through employment or through any sort of other families besides a spouse. If you get your green card through marriage to a U.S. citizen and you are still living with your spouse, and you're still married, then you can file for a green card for your citizenship within 3 years. Also, if you got your green card through marriage to a U.S. citizen, and you got your 2-year green card, but then you did a waiver for extreme cruelty, which got approved because you suffered abuse during your marriage, then you only have to wait 3 years. And if you got your green card through Vawa, 3 years. 3 years wait. Can I apply for a Vawa after I-485 denial if I can prove abuse from Cherry? Cherry, yes, you can. There is no limit to filing for Vawa, even if no matter how many times you got your I-485 denied. But I do recommend that you have a copy of your paperwork so we could see, and also have a copy of your denial letters to see why it got denied, because sometimes we have to address all of those things, right? I'm a very careful lawyer. I look through all these things. I try to make sure everything matches up, and we explain inconsistencies because we want to minimize problems in your case. So Cherry, yes, you can, and call us 212-248-7907. B1, B2 visa inside the States, married to an LPR, filed F2A. What happens after the I-94 expired? Can he stay? Okay, so for visitors who've come to the US who are married to a green card holder, if you file for your green card and you are still in status and you have not committed violations such as working without authorization and your priority date is current, then yes, you should be okay. You're basically in a period of authorized stay once you file your green card application, even if your I-94 is expired, okay? My boyfriend applied for his U visa in 2017, but I still have not heard anything what to expect with this from Sophia. Sophia and anyone else who has applied for a U visa. For U visas, generally these days, it is taking about 5 to 10 years to hear back about the approval for the U visa. So if he applied for a U visa in 2017, that's been what, like almost 5 years? And so hopefully he's gonna hear something soon, but it may take even longer, okay? Anything for unlawful parents of U.S. citizens that have been here for more than 20 years, from Rigo Sanchez. Rigo, yes. If you are a parent of a U.S. citizen, you've been here for 10, 20, 30 years, you entered illegally, you may have been here for a very, very long time, you never had any status. Yes, there's a few things that I look at. I look at, first of all, to see if the parents might be eligible for Section 245I. This is when they have an employer or a family member that applies for them back in basically like the late 90s or before 2001. If this is, if an application was filed for them, they may be eligible for Section 245I. But Section 245I does not protect people who have a permanent bar. If your parents have a permanent bar, I look to see if they qualify for Vawa, and that is based upon being the parent of a U.S. citizen child who's 21, who has subjected the mother or the father to extreme cruelty or physical abuse. And if that's not a possibility, then I look to see if the parents qualify for a T visa or for a U visa. Now, another thing that parents may be qualified for is military parole in place. So if you, as a child, or are a veteran, or are in active duty, or you've been honorably discharged, then you may be able to help your parents get their green card done through military parole in place. But just like with Section 245I, military parole in place is not going to help if your parents have the permanent bar. What I recommend is that your parents give me a call, 212-248-7907, so that I can evaluate their possibilities. Does there need to be a police report for abuse? What type of paperwork is needed to begin processing for a VAWA case? From Jesse. Jesse, or Yessie, I'm pretty sure it's Jesse. Jesse, you do not need a police report. And anyone else who wants to file for VAWA, you do not need a police report. One of the most heartbreaking things for me is when I speak to somebody who wants to be a client who has suffered immensely through their relationship. And they've gone to other lawyers who tell them, I can't help you because you don't have a police report. That, to me, it breaks my heart, and it also makes me really angry. It makes me really mad because you do not need to have a police report. So the person could have gotten relief years ago, and because an attorney was making a mistaken assertion of evidence that's not required by the law, the person didn't get relief when they needed it. But now they're coming to me, and you do not need to have a police report to file for VAWA, okay? All right, everyone. It's been wonderful speaking to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me on a Saturday. I hope I was able to answer a lot of questions. I know I couldn't answer everyone, but I do thank you for your patience. If you want to talk to me, 212-248-7907. You do have to book an appointment with me. My consultation fee is $150, and that is for a half-hour phone or video consultation. It doesn't matter where in the country you are. It doesn't matter where you are, all right? I can still speak with you, okay? All right, have a wonderful day, and thank you, and God bless.